Hi, everybody. My name is Lisa Kessler. I'm here today on behalf of Cheers for Charity New Hampshire with my dear friend Joanne. Hey, Joanne.
Hi, Lisa. Yes, welcome. I'm Joanne. I'm with Lighthouse Physical Therapy, and so happy to have another episode of our Cheers for Charity today. And we would like to welcome Friends Forever International. So, welcome. Please introduce yourself. Tell us what you do there, and a little bit about your organization.
Sure. So my name is Alex Russo. I'm the Program and Community Engagement Coordinator here at FFI. And Matthew, do you want to introduce yourself and a little bit about what we do too?
Thank you. My name is Matthew from Friends Forever International. I'm Special Projects Coordinator. Thank you both so much for having us on this week's highlight. Friends Forever International is a nonprofit with our HQ location here in Durham, New Hampshire, and we work to do empathetic leadership programs, helping young people become the best version of themselves so they can help their community become the best version of itself.
Wonderful. Well, tell us a little bit more about your programs and what kind of people get involved.
Yeah, so we have things that are happening on a global scale and a national scale and a local scale, like all kind of in tandem. We got started in 1986 working with Catholic and Protestant young people from Northern Ireland. And originally, a lot of our work was focused in places in the world that experienced conflict. And we've since zoomed out, not just to looking at conflict, but to looking at building empathetic leadership as a whole, regardless of where we might be coming from. Since we all face some sort of conflict, whether it be internal or external. Most recently, which I think will be the most relevant here, is we've been doing programs specifically for youth from New Hampshire that are all credit bearing. So we're the largest Learn Everywhere provider in the state of New Hampshire. So all of the courses that we're able to offer grant these students academic credit that transfers back to their local high school. And so far, we've run 8 of those programs this year, each earning students 2 credits. And all of these are residential, 100% scholarship based, and we've served students from all 10 counties. I'll pass it to Matt to talk a little bit more about what an FFI program looks like and what some of our 4 components are.
Nice.
All right. So thinking of these credit-bearing opportunities, a lot of the curriculum is based in our own leadership curriculum. So students are getting credits in team building, in goal setting, in leadership and advocacy, and other different categories we have courses in. And these recent credit-bearing programs we've had this past summer and this earlier in the winter were based in social studies curriculum or arts or adventure education, science, health and wellness. There's all different categories of ways students can get some untraditional learning experiences outside of their classroom setting. So we're very focused on hands-on service-based learning, where we're bringing them into the community and we're meeting with professionals that are experts in their field and having more hands-on approaches that might not be accessible within a traditional school setting. Aspects of our program that are consistent, whether they're a credit-bearing program or they're immersion programs, or young people are coming from across the US or internationally for our offerings. Every program is entirely technology-free. So they arrive to campus and I quite literally take their phones out of their hands and safely put them away for the following week or 2 that they're with us. So there's no distractions. There's no outside influences that are preventing them from being fully present in these moments. They're able to take in these experiences exactly for what they are. Every program is also entirely plant-based. So all of our curriculum follows any dietary needs that, or any dietary practices that are inclusive to any cultural or ethnic or other different points of identity that may have any restrictions. It helps with our sustainability efforts to promote different environmental factors and things that are beneficial to our overall planet, and also has young people consider, what the food they're putting in their body does for them physically, how they're feeling in a health way for their own personal benefits, as well as the benefits of the communities around them. And then in tandem with that, all programs have aspects of daily mindfulness. So whether that's through daily journaling, through meditation, through yoga, through reflection, all of these different things that also incorporate these health benefits that come with mindfulness practices, also goes in tandem with these other skills and other experiences they can bring with them out after the program. So everything we're doing is to help them find that better version of themselves during these 8 days with us, so they can take these skills back home with them and have there be transformative experiences beyond our programming, whether within themselves and the communities that they reside. That was a
fascinating. Yeah, so it sounds like you're pulling kids in from all over the world into little old Durham, New Hampshire, huh? That's fantastic. Are you running these programs all year round, or is it more summer based when kids are off from school, or how does the timing of this work?
Yeah, that's a great question. Primarily the summer is our busiest season, but we certainly are not limited to just that, especially for our New Hampshire program specifically. We try and align ourselves with the New Hampshire state academic calendar. So I don't want to give anything away for the year because we haven't published what that calendar looks like just yet, but in the previous year, we had facilitated a program over February vacation and April vacation, and we're looking to align with those and some other breaks in the calendar as well to be able to offer students those opportunities without missing a substantial amount of school.
Yeah. So is there I'll say, typical day for one of these programs? Can you talk a little bit about the day-to-day experience of this?
Yeah. So what a typical day looks like is waking up early. 6:30-ish maybe on a typical day. And you'll be going until by the time your debrief ends, maybe at 11 o'clock at night. So we aim to be the most challenging leadership program in the world. So we really have some long days and you fit a lot into those. You try and fit at least 5 activities into the day. And that can be any combination of our in-house facilitated workshops around skills like communication or identity or mapping how our life experiences are propelling us forward into the world. Or it might be external activities and meeting with content experts, like Matt had just mentioned for some of our credit-bearing programs, whether it would be science or art or adventure education. It might be doing something really focused on that curriculum. We also have different team building activities and we always like to have a bit of fun in there too. And a lot of those are really tailored based on what our individuals in the group might be fearful of or may never have had the experience of before. It's really deeply tailored and individualized to the group we have. So if we have 80% of the kids in that group say that they have never been on a boat before, or that they might be uncomfortable around deep water, that might be something that we're going to push our comforts in and integrate into the schedule in some way. So it's a mixture of internal in-house stuff, external meeting with other people, engaging with the community. Oftentimes there's an element of service learning or volunteering. I looked at the list of some of the other awesome organizations that you've honored before that we've also worked with and brought some of our participants to help out with.
That's great. And you have different community leaders that are involved to help facilitate some of the out of your location activities you have.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of local supporters, both within their professions and organizations that we have regular contact with and partner with. The biggest support we get is definitely from our alumni and those that have gone through the program themselves. So every program that we conduct has a few alumni leaders that have returned and are the ones essentially leading the group. You know, Alex and I are making sure that the train is staying on the tracks, but they're more so getting that experience of guidance from, you know, an 18-year-old from Israel or a 21-year-old from Northern Ireland or all these other different intersections of people that have gone through a program and are now giving back to help lead that process as well. And we have over 2,000 different international alumni. And now that we have these New Hampshire credit-bearing programs kickstarted, we have already almost 50 of them, you know, within an arm's reach away, hoping to come back and volunteer more and be part of that process. All of our curriculum and all of our developments and the workshops we do with them, they also have a say and a hand in what that looks like. So because they're the ones going back into the world and having these lived experiences and able to come back and tell us, this was really beneficial. It'd be really great if we could work on this in the programs. And we're kind of growing alongside that, what that feedback looks like from them. And we're definitely going to be relying on these new Hampshire-based alumni as the years come and have that continue to grow and expand because of their help.
Yeah. Is this particular, are you a chapter of a bigger organization, or are you like the only one in the only location?
We are the location.
That's it. Oh, wow. You guys got a lot going on there.
Yeah. We have our campus here in Durham, which is our headquarters. And then we have another campus in Annalong, Northern Ireland, which is about a 2-hour drive from both Dublin and Belfast in different directions. Anlong is a little fisherman village right on the coast. It's a beautiful landscape. And then we have another campus down in Boom Creek, Belize. So we are expanding and we are having, I know, tell me about it, right? Facial reaction, say it all. So
So
we're
wait,
continuing.
what age is this for? Like, don't they have like the adult program?
We're working on it. It's something
Okay.
on our back brains as well. It's not something we're forgetting about. Part of community building and having these sustainable environments for young people to be growing up in is involvement of the adults and those who are helping, you know, with all this process along the way. So we have a lot of parents and guardians of participants and people also, you know, getting involved and being part of that process. And we're hoping to expand in that way. But Alex is probably going to chat about open world as well as this
No,
year.
I was just gonna say, we never like to say no, we like to say how. We tend to get that reaction quite a bit too, and there's always ways to volunteer or engage with us regardless of what your age is. There's certainly opportunities there. For the most part, our programming is for youth 14 to 18 years old. That's really where we feel like the possibility for impact is so great. And when participants finish their program with us, we give them the opportunity to complete a social action project in their own community. So we don't really view our numbers as it's 8 kids that had a leadership program. We view it as 8 communities that are better for having those young people be active members of them. And really recognizing the impact of small scale community change and the resources that they have at their disposal to make that small scale community change at this point in time, and not waiting until this imaginary, once I get that diploma or once I get that job, and not putting those imaginary benchmarks, but really recognizing what they as an individual have the capacity to do right now.
How do people hear about, like, how do these youth all over the world learn about this program?
Lisa, Instagram ads are our best friends. No, in part, something like social media advertising is great. We do have a lot of established partners and folks that we've worked with since we've been around since 1986 that help push out our application. When we recruit for our nationwide program or for our global program, we kind of push it out to that population. And a lot of our previous alumni work within the spaces that they live to help get more applicants from there too. Our alumni are some of our biggest pushers of our application for the future. Matt, did you have anything to add on to that as well?
And all of our application processes are 100% open enrollment. So we are a no barrier program, and that includes access to it. So anybody who has within that age range and fit whatever, you know, location requirements the program is going to be serving, they're welcome to fill out the entire application, which is in 3 parts. It's pretty lengthy, it's pretty strenuous, and that's because we want to have young people have the ability to show that effort and show that dedication. We don't check for any grade requirements or any other socioeconomic statuses or any other standards to apply for the programs. A lot of the questions are based in self-reflection and, you know, future growth and what they're hoping to achieve. They're telling us about times that they failed but kept trying again. They told us about times that they've been fearful of, you know, things around them or things they want to be seeing change in their communities about. It's very personalized and specific to what they want their communities to grow to become. And all these programs are entirely cost-free. So there's not a single dime or a single penny that they have to take out of their pockets to attend. That goes for the international travel, that goes for Alex and I driving loops around the perimeter of New Hampshire, picking up kids at different rest stops along the way, making sure that anybody who wants to better the community has a possibility. And that way, every community can have representation of people going through our leadership development trainings and being able to give back and plant those seeds across New Hampshire, across the US, and across the world as well.
Yeah, what a gift to our young people, right, Lisa?
Oh my gosh, I have so many things going through my head at the same time. So you have unlimited applications. How many students do you take during the summer, for instance? How many kids come through your program? And that's my first question. Second question is, would you ever come across language barriers?
Yeah, so our programs traditionally have between 8 and 10 young people. There's a little bit of flexibility on either side, that where a cohort might be smaller, it might be larger. We really try and develop a cohort of people and a group in that way. And for our programs, we do have English as a requirement. So we had our first ever global program, which was held at our campus in Ireland this August, and we had 8 young people representing 8 different countries. It was, see if I can name you all of them: Brazil, Canada, Turkey, New Zealand, Austria, Mongolia, India, and Pakistan. And for 6 out of 8 of those young people, English was either their second, third, or fourth language. But we were able to make it work.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
What are you finding are your biggest needs at this point? Is there something from the community, getting word out, financing? What do you guys need?
That's a really good question. I was gonna say, I have an idea, but do you want to take it first, Matt?
I think it might be the same thing. A lot of it is because we're, again, an international organization, and you're talking to half of the full-time staff currently. So there's a lot of behind the scenes work that goes into making a program happen. And we have a lot of very dedicated and reliable community members helping host teams for meals, or professionals that, willing to give them tours of their businesses or what they do for work. So as we continue to expand, especially this local network of New Hampshire-based participants, having more local connections that cover specific content areas or have just interests in their, sharing their careers and sharing their practices with young people is something we're always open and welcome to, especially with all of our programs being tailored to their applications and their enrollment forms. And we're creating agendas that are unique for each program based off our participants' interests. If I were to have someone say, I really want to work on web designing and using social media as, a platform to spread information to my community members, we can look in our back system and say, who do we know that can design a website? Who do we know that can do all these very niche things that young people are very interested in learning about? So really anybody who is just interested in sharing what they have to offer to young people and exposing them to their lifestyle or their work professions is something we're always interested in continuing to build that backlog of.
That's very cool. And
I was going to say that same thing, but also as we are continuing New Hampshire programs too, since I feel like most of the folks that will be watching this are local, we're always looking to have more applicants for our programs coming up. We'll have a lot of offerings here, but then in the same respect, looking for ways that we can fund to keep doing those, because we found that even at the start of the summer, the number of programs we had said we were going to offer, we had to nearly triple because of the demand we had. So having new folks from new corners of the state and new schools is always awesome, but also looking for ways to keep being able to do that, because the demand is high. And what we're seeing is that through partnering with schools and working with a lot of the youth we have, is that there's a real need for this sort of work and a real need for this sort of experience.
that's awesome. Now, if people want to learn more about Friends Forever International, what's the best ways for them to sort of, engage?
Yeah, so our website is ff.international. That's a really great place to look for credit bearing programs specifically. It's ff.international/credit bearing programs. And you're welcome. We always tell people this too. Stop by, call us. Like Matt said, we are a small operation. We do a lot, but we are small. There's only 4 full-time staff here, and we're located just off Route 4 in Durham. So if you ever drive by and there are cars in the parking lot, please stop in, say hello. Or give us a call too.
A lot of what we do is based off community, coming together and finding ways to reach this end goal that we all have, which is happy and healthy communities. And that typically starts with, the youth and having them prepared to be doing so. We have some different events throughout the year that everybody locally is able to participate in. We just had our first annual yard sale back during Memorial Day weekend, which is really exciting. Where we had people donating furniture items or things that they've been not needing in their homes anymore that they can just drop off, and we have this whole organized system of generating avenue that way. We have another event that we call Pints for Peace happening in November, where people can fundraise for drink vouchers for various different bars and restaurants around the Portsmouth, New Hampshire area and beyond. So anybody interested in participating in that in November, they can visit pintsforpeace.org, and there's a whole registration and information along those lines. Both the participation as well as anybody who works in those industries in the area and is interested in being a host location or, contacting us to being part of that back end of things. That would be really awesome for them to get involved with. Even just following us on Instagram, is kind of where we promote all those different local things and having, these updates of program opportunities and other, adult professional development opportunities or guest speakers, anything that we have that kind of allows people to use our community space as a community space that it is, we're always going to be posting there and letting people know how they can be involved, whether it be with programs or with us as an organization.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is such an amazing organization you guys have. I really commend you for what you're doing for our young people. And I love your passion for what you do. And it makes me excited for those that have, gone through your program, and it sounds like they come out just a whole different person. And so well done. Well done. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been
Thank
such a
you.
pleasure.
Thank you. It's been great.
Yeah, thank you all so much for having us. We really appreciate it.